We asked 18 individuals 49 questions regarding facts and details about themselves. We asked them out of the following celebrities which closely matches their fashion sense: Alexa Chung, Justin Bieber, Sarah Park, and 4 others. The vast majority said Sarah Park. Therefore, our actors and actresses will be wearing comfortable, casual, and fashionable clothing. When asked which shopping outlet closely matches where they purchase their clothes, 6 said Urban Outfitters. Another 6 said H&M. The remaining 6 were dispatched amongst 4 other outlets. We then asked them how many people they live with. 6 out of 18 said they live with 4 others. Therefore, if we were to incorporate family situations, there will be 4 other family members living with the protagonist. We then asked them what ethnicity they are. 6 out of 18 said they are British Asian, and another 6 said they are of Asian descent. We also asked what nationality they are. 9 out of 18 said they are British, so therefore our cast will be British. We then asked what sexuality they are. All 18 said they were heterosexual. We also asked what their dietary preference is. All said they were eat-eaters, with the exception of 1 vegetarian. We then asked them what movie genre they prefer most. The majority said they prefer thriller, followed by romance and horror. Therefore, our production will be thriller-based, incorporated with either romance or horror. We also asked what religion they are. 5 of the 18 said they were Christians. 4 said they are agnostic, another 4 atheist. 3 were Buddhist, 1 Muslim, and 1 Catholic. 16 were in the age range 15 to 17. This would mean our protagonist will be Christian within the age range 15 to 17. None of the 18 had children of their own, therefore we will not need to incorporate children in our work. 13 preferred to watch movies that are in English without subtitles and that are not dubbed. We will be filming the movie in English with the slip-in of another language due to the mass of people who also speak an additional language to English. 4 of the 18 preferred American food, 3 preferred Japanese, 3 preferred Spanish, 3 preferred Chinese, 2 preferred Korean, 1 preferred Caribbean, 1 preferred Indian, and 1 preferred Pakistani. This would mean any incorporation of food should be linked to the fast food restaurant's chain. 2 of the 18 are employed and the rest aren't. All of those we asked are in full-time education. This would mean our actors and actresses should be unemployed and in full-time education. 5 of the 18 preferred J-pop or K-pop to any other music genre. 4 preferred R&B. We will need to include K-pop or J-pop music in our movie. This can also be used as another language to English. 18 watch movies 1 to 5 days monthly. This means that our audience watch movies often enough to discover new and unknown movies. 17 prefer to watch movies via streaming, meaning our work should be able for viewing on the internet, Netflix, and other forms of media interactions. Half preferred the protagonist to be female and the other half preferred a male protagonist. This would mean the protagonist could be either or both, fulfilling the wishes of the audience. We then asked, based on the answer from the previous question, out of the following protagonists, who would they rather watch in a movie? For male, we provided the following actors: Colin Firth, Jordan Gavaris, Johnny Depp, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Justin Chon. 7 said they preferred the protagonist to be Jordan Gavaris, and another 7 said they preferred the protagonist to be Justin Chon. This provides the notion that the male protagonist should be young, gay or homosexual or youthful, quirky and free-spirited, or Asian, young and in the moment, someone who shows their wild side under the influence of others. Those who preferred a female protagonist, we provided them with the options of the following actresses: Ashita Mana, Jennifer Lawrence, Helena Bonham Carter, Tatiana Maslany, or Lupita Nyong'o. 8 of those we asked preferred Jennifer Lawrence to be the lead role. As Jennifer Lawrence is currently a big hit and a huge idol in the movie industry, her style is pretty fixed. Our female lead should be young, youthful, bold, confident, athletic, and in love. 12 out of the 18 considered only 1 to 3 people as real friends, possibly meaning betrayal or rivalry may be exposed from the actors and actresses in our production. This could also mean they have issues trusting people or possibly how popular they are. 14 said they do have a good relationship with their parents, providing the notion that they may have had an easy and smooth childhood, whereas 3 others said they don't, and 1 who had no comment for this question. Our actors and actresses should be psychologically healthy and have a good relationship with their parents. 16 were non-smokers and non-alcoholic drinkers. 2 were smokers and drink 1 to 2 glasses of alcohol a week. As everyone we asked As a culturally diverse cast, our cast members will be of a variation of different cultures and backgrounds. 13 have not been in a physical fight before. 5 have. This would mean our audience are not violent or aggressive. 8 don't mind movies with foul language, whereas 10 oppose it. Therefore, we will not be including foul language in our dialogue. Half speak slang verbally and the other half don't. Therefore, it is optional for us to use slang in our dialogue. All own a smartphone. When asked how many hours they spend on their smartphones daily, 6 said they spend 4 to 6 hours, 5 spent 7+ hours, 3 spent 2 to 3 hours, and 4 spent 1 hour. All 18 use social media. 4 preferred Snapchat over any other, 3 preferred YouTube, 3 preferred Instagram, 3 preferred Twitter, 3 preferred Tumblr, and 2 preferred Facebook. This implies that people prefer to use media that is personal and for those they trust. All are in working class. 13 have hobbies and 5 don't, 6 of which said their hobbies involve skateboarding or some other sort of sport. 2 others said their hobby is cooking, 1 shopping, 1 dancing or singing, 2 drawing or some other kind of art, and 1 other edits as a hobby. Therefore meaning our audience are athletic and sporty. 13 said Apple is their preferred electronic manufacturer, and 5 others said they prefer Samsung. This suggests that our audience is up to date with their technology and prefer high quality and mainstream brands. 8 own an iPhone, 5 own a Samsung smartphone, 3 own Sony smartphones, again suggesting that the majority of our audience are up to date with their technology. 12 speak an additional language to English, whereas 6 don't. 6 said the quickest time their attention has been diverted from a production 2 minutes. 4 said 1 minute, 3 said 0 to 30 seconds, 2 said 3 to 4 minutes, 2 said 5+ minutes, and one other said they have never switched off during a movie. Our audience favourite colours: 5 purple, 4 blue, 3 red, 2 white, 1 black, 1 pink, 1 yellow, 1 green. Therefore, our actors or casting crew will be wearing the most popular colours. 3 don't take selfies, whereas the rest do. Similarly, 3 don't use filters on their photos, whereas the rest do. This demonstrates that our audience is very sociable. 10 don't wear glasses, 8 do. As these figures are quite close, it is optional to have our cast wearing spectacles. We have also found that the most common eye colour amongst our audience is brown, with only 3 having another eye colour. Therefore, at least one of our cast members will have brown eyes. Similarly, 12 of those we asked have brown hair, 4 have black, and 2 are blonde, again giving us the notion that our cast members should have brown hair. When asked whether they have pets, 8 do and 10 don't, therefore allowing us to have the option of including pets. 4 of those having a fish, another 4 having a dog, 2 having a hamster or guinea pig, and 2 others having a cat, with the exception of 1 having all 4.
The opening credits fade in and out as peaceful orchestral music plays, which puts the audience at ease. The word Black Swan fades in a white and on-bold text on a black background. The sound of a dark laugh fades in with gushes of wind, which takes the calm and ease away from the viewer, and they begin to feel as though something bad is going to happen. This shows us that the film will include more dark themes. The black being in white text contradicts the purity of it. This embodies black and white symbolism. The words Black Swan then fade out to black. This also shows that evil controls the good and pure. We then fade into an LS of Nina dressed in a white ballet outfit centered in a spotlight. The rest of the room is blacked out, again bringing the idea that there would be a lot of darkness and evil in this film. Her outfit is white to represent her purity. It is almost as if the darkness is consuming the light and innocence of Nina. The darkness around her creates tension and mystery, as we, the audience, don't know what could be lurking in the shadows. The floor in which she is dancing on is shiny and looks a bit like she is standing on a lake, which foreshadows her becoming the White Swan later on in the scene. There is a tracking shot on the feet of the ballet dancer, which allows the audience to focus all their attention on the White Swan's intricate ballet moves and shows us How elegant and regal the dance moves are, just like the movements of a white swan. Nina perches on the floor just like a bird would. The camera is at a higher angle than Nina, which makes her look vulnerable to the man dressed in black. Her back is turned to the camera, which leaves her in a vulnerable position as she cannot see the dark and potentially threatening figure that is approaching. The music becomes more chilling and horror-like. We see a close-up of Nina's face, which we see is riddled with fear. We can partially not see her face due to the white light, showing her innocence is still intact. Her breathing is heavy as it is the only diegetic sound we can hear. This emphasizes how vulnerable and scared she feels in this moment because she knows something is following her, but she is not quite sure what it is. The man begins to follow Nina, which is highlighted by a tracking shot. They start dancing. They are positioned parallel. Nina is in front of the man, still with her back turned, and their moves are coordinated and in sync. As they begin dancing, the light is only glowing on half of her face, which shows a loss of purity and that darkness has consumed a little bit of her. The man twists and turns into a creature. The music intensifies to reflect the mood. This is when Nina knows she is under a real threat. He begins to control her moves violently and rapidly, picking her up and swinging her from side to side. Nina's moves become more stressful as she tries to put in her full effort to get away. Her moves look like she is trying to fly away as she keeps raising her hands in the air and jumping. However, her efforts fail as he keeps pulling her back towards him. Although the moves are tense and stressed, they stay elegant and regal like a swan would. Her transformation to the white swan then occurs as he brings his body towards her for the last time. We see white feathers all over the place as she flaps her arms as if they were wings. This is emphasized by the sounds of birds flapping their wings. The music then calms and the screen fades into black, engulfing the white swan.
The Silence of the Lambs is a psychological thriller based around a story about a female protagonist and a murderer, directed by Jonathan Demme. Non-diegetic classical music plays in the background, setting the tone for the rest of the intro for something tense and mysterious. The opening sequence fades to black, indicating to the viewer that a memory or story has begun. By doing this, the audience is kept in the unknown, giving them a sense of vulnerability. The black screen fades to a shot of a forest, tinted dark blue. This establishes a very cold, dangerous environment. The high camera angle is looking at the top of trees. However, it is made to look as if the camera is someone's point of view. This could encourage the idea of being a bird, with the connotations of escaping and freedom. On the other hand, it can also give the audience the feeling of power, as if they are a bird hunting. The music increases in pitch, making the tension within the audience increase, as it seems some action will take place. The words "Woods near Quantico, VA" fades onto the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. The font is stereotypically used for detective files. This implies that the area could or is being investigated, foreshadowing to the audience that the film is based around an investigation. The woods has a generic sounding name and location, giving it a sense of secrecy. Jodie Foster appears in the centre of the screen in all caps and a bold black font with a white border. This tells the viewer that Jodie Foster will be playing the lead role within the film. The colours used could give an impression of her character is being good on the outside but maybe hiding something. While the camera slowly tilts and other main actors' names flash on and off screen, the audience sees the entire scenery for the first time, making them nervous. At the same pace as the tilt, the non-diegetic orchestral music increases in octaves, building tension within the audience for when the name of the film flashes on screen. In the distance, a figure begins to run out of the fog. The high-angle shot makes the character seem weak, making it look like the character is being chased. It is then revealed to the audience, through the character climbing a rope, that the character is on an obstacle course. You can clearly hear the pleonastic, diegetic sound of the character panting, implying that they've been running for a long time and could be preparing themselves for something. As the character continues to climb the hill and actors' names flash on and off the screen, the audience realises they have been standing on a cliff edge. This makes the viewer nervous as they feel they could have fallen or maybe jumped off. This could foreshadow suicides or deaths. As the person continues to climb the hill, the viewer notices that it is a female. By the camera moving from a high-angle shot to a medium portrait close-up, it implies that she has tried really hard to get to or do something, for example her career, emphasising her current status. For this long into the intro, there has been no cuts, making the audience feel as if they are a real person within this situation. The camera begins to track the female at a mid-shot. This could imply to the audience that they are chasing her. The camera slows and the female gets further away as the non-diegetic orchestral music turns into one continuous tone. This emphasises how the chase is meaningless and getting the viewer nowhere closer emotionally to the character. The music increases one more octave, making the female seem of a higher power and in control. The camera stops and the character runs further into the fog. This frustrates the audience, making them more curious. The camera jump cuts to a close-up of the female's face. Her expression looks curious, as if she's not sure where she's going. As the camera pans to a portrait of her, the audience cannot see where she's running, building tension. The camera jump cuts to a medium tracking shot of the female running at a faster pace, similar to if she was being chased. The camera seems as if it's being handheld, making the audience feel as if they are running with her. The viewer cannot see where the protagonist is running, making them nervous about what or who she might be running from. The very fast jump cut is matched with a non-diegetic parallel orchestral music emphasising the dramatic change in the speed, making the audience feel nervous about what might have happened. The camera jump cuts to a big close-up of the female's feet. This emphasises how fast the woman is running. This frustrates the audience as the camera shot zooms in rather than out, making it even harder for the viewer to see what's going on. The camera jump cuts to a big close-up of the woman's face. Because of the amount of close-ups, the audience builds a relationship with the character. The character wears stereotypically masculine, sweaty clothes with pulled back hair. This could either imply that she is very masculine or is around masculine people. This contradicts with the female stereotype. However, the first individual thing to the character the audience notices is her pearl earrings. This contrasts with her aggressive, determined expression. It could also indicate that there's more to her than first perceived. The protagonist slows her pace parallel to the non-diegetic orchestra sound. As the audience can see where she's going, they relax as it reminds them she's on an obstacle course. However, because of the camera angle, the audience cannot see the character's face, making them unsure about who she is and what she's thinking.
2:30.
The camera pans around the obstacle which the character is climbing. The obstacle could represent the obstacles in her life she has to overcome.
2:37.
The camera tilts into a high-angle shot, emphasising the character's power compared to the audience, or her potential power. The camera angle quickly returns to an eye-level angle to remind the audience that they are equal to the character. For a split second, the female is in a light, open, colourful surrounding. She then directly runs back into the wood. Because she continued to run into the wood, it could imply that she is determined to do something or go somewhere. The camera stops moving, encouraging the feeling of unwillingness and uncertainty within the audience. The first word is spoken behind the camera. The diegetic sound, similar to a bark, emphasizing authority, breaks the intensity of the running, snapping the audience back into reality. The word said is starling. It is then repeated, emphasizing the importance of the character. A starling is a type of bird which can reflect back to the first shots in the forest, emphasizing the importance of these connotations. Starling. A man runs into shot and is tracked. You cannot see either character's face, which makes the audience wonder what the relationship of the characters are.
Crawford wants to see you in his office.
Thank you, sir. Starling finishes the conversation with "Thank you, sir." This emphasises the male's authority, as he is not referred to by his name. This could reflect the importance of men and their authority throughout the film. Zooming into the man's face, it is shown that Starling and him must work for the FBI, as it is on his cap in bold blue letters. The pitch of the non-diegetic music gets higher, emphasising further to the audience the importance of the FBI in the film. The camera jump cuts to a tilt of a tree which reads "Hurt, Agony, Pain, Love It," and an unreadable sign which can only just be made out to say "Pride." The audience can see Starling running in the background, foreshadowing that this is what the character will gain, or in the case of Pride, lose during the film. A small amount of colour returns to the background, implying that the character is getting back to reality. The forest ends, panning onto cut grass and a large wall. The location is not revealed to the audience, so they guess it must be somewhere highly protected, like a prison. She passes multiple groups of people training, who all seem to be males wearing black, contrasting with her, emphasising her independence and strength. The camera jump cuts to an establishing shot of an isolated office, giving the audience the impression of where she is and what she might do for her career. The camera zooms quickly onto Starling, walking across the bridge. She is walking in the opposite direction to everyone else, making her stand out and emphasising her individuality and importance. The non-diegetic orchestral music has now changed to diegetic, pleonastic sound of guns being shot. Because of the lack of reaction from anyone, this indicates to the audience that this is normal and shouldn't be questioned. The audience sees Starling walk down the stairs from a low-angle shot to a portrait shot, foreshadowing the female's power later in the film. This is also when we see what seems to be the only other female character so far, who high-fives the protagonist and refers to her as Clarice. This encourages the audience to notice the lack of female cast, giving the impression that there may be sexist themes within the film. The camera pans through a workspace with a range of people working. Because she does not disturb anyone and seems familiar with some of the workers, it emphasises her authority and shows the audience more of her human, less mechanic characteristics. The camera jump cuts and pans chemicals on a shelf with nothing but diegetic background noise, making the audience question what the building is for. The audience are now used to opening with cuts, not starting on the female's face, making them feel like they are hiding or stalking her. This could foreshadow the film. Clarice enters an elevator full of men who are taller than her, wearing matching uniform. This could reflect the view of all the men in the workplace looking down at her, or even women as a whole. The protagonist leaves on a higher floor to the rest of the men in the elevator. This could indicate to the audience that she is of a higher power to those men and does not care about the sexist views directed at her. The camera quickly pans to a sign saying Behavioural Science Services, concluding that the villain or a major character of the story may have mental health issues. By the way the character is dressed and how she seems to be looking through the offices, the audience assumes that she is not from this department. This is reinforced when she asks someone where Crawford's office is, meaning she is not as powerful as she perceives. The camera tracks Clarice into a room where she looks as if she will be waiting for someone. The audience's view has been blocked by more opening credits, making them more curious about what is important in this room. Clarice Starling turns around and seems to stop in shock. This is emphasized by her arms dropping to her sides. The audience cannot see what she has seen, building tension and curiosity about what is there. The camera zooms quickly to a close-up of her face, emphasizing further how shocking what she has seen is. This is reinforced by the non-diegetic orchestral music quietly restarting, encouraging the audience's curiosity further. The viewer is shocked by a jump cut to a board filled with news articles and shocking images. The fast cut surprises the viewer and makes them more shocked about what they've seen. A shot reverse shot and a zoom is used to emphasize this feeling and to help the audience relate to the female's feelings. The camera cuts to a close-up and tracks the eye movements of Starling on the board, letting the audience see close up what the protagonist is seeing. This lets them question who might have done this and sympathise with the character with what she's seen. The camera stops at an article reading Bill Skin's Fifth, implying the audience has only witnessed evidence for 1 of 5 murders. From the 5 images below the article, the audience can see all of the culprits are female, making them sympathise with the protagonist and understand how she may feel threatened because of her gender. A jump cut is used to move to a close-up of Starling's face. Because the audience can see how the images have affected the character, they build a stronger relationship with her and sympathise with her more.
Welcome to Newsnight with Uma Caruana Clarkson.
Psychologist Michael Bellane wrote a book called Thrills and Regressions. This book describes 2 specific character types which must be included in any successful thriller. This is a philobat and an ochnophobe. The philobat is a character who loves thrills, and the ochnophobe is a character who hates thrills. By using these 2 opposite characters, a broader range of characters can be used to gratify different demographics. It also means that there is a balance of characters within the film. The French anthropologist Levi Strauss discovered the theory of binary opposites and how they are frequently used in films. One example is how we understand the word villain. We can only understand this word by comparing it to the opposite word hero. Accumulation is a part of the film where the development of clues and questions are revealed to the audience so that they can assume and guess what will later happen within the film. This idea of the increase in questions for the audience is common for a thriller movie, as it builds tension easily, a major feature of a thriller movie. A subgenre is a subdivision of one other larger genre. Many thriller subgenres include action thrillers, crime thrillers, psychological thrillers, and mystery thrillers. By using a subgenre, a production company can broaden their movie's appeal to a whole new demographic. By doing this, a larger audience and fan base is revealed to the production company and all of their films, giving them a positive reputation and gaining a long-running, loyal audience, pumping more money into the company. One major film production company who is focused around the thriller genre is Hammer Film Productions. This company have been producers of thriller films like Straight On Till Morning, The Resident and Wakewood. Films like these will go through a production process through the steps of development. This is when the story is developed and the script is written. Pre-production. This is when the location of the film is discussed and other components like casting and production design. Production. At this point, the movie will be filmed and shots will be collected. Then movie distribution, which is when the film is released to the audience. Our first location is Dulwich Upper Wood in Crystal Palace. This would be where our chase scene would occur between Bonnie and Zachary. We will access this location by bus as it is located close to Crystal Palace bus station. All of the people who need to be present at this location during filming would be cast and crew, who can be contacted through social medias and their mobile phones.
We will enter the wood through the front gate. We will do this so that we do not have to enter the location over any fences or other ways, as this would be disrespectful. We will be filming most of the opening sequence on the natural paths within Dulwich Upper Wood, where the female protagonist, Bonnie, will chase the male protagonist, Zachary. We may have issues filming in this area as we cannot control the weather, meaning it may not be safe to film if it rains, etc. Or it may not be the correct type of weather for our opening sequence, for example, if it is sunny.
The large open space is where Zachary will trip and fall near the end of the opening sequence. One problem we may face when filming is that the floor is very uneven. This would make it very hard to keep a steady camera shot. To prevent a shaky image, we will make sure that we place the tripod on a flat surface, maybe on top of a wooden board if necessary. An issue that may occur when Zachary falls is that he might hit his head on something. This is a large risk and could seriously damage the actor. To try and make this scene as safe as possible, we will separate the fall into different shots. The first shot will instead have the actor partially fall and support himself. Another shot will be him hitting his head on the floor from a low height. These would be cut and edited together to look professional and seamless.
A lot of areas within the forest are exposed or close to the main road. This means that there could be a lot of noise pollution from cars and people walking down the street. In some areas, the road is visible through the forest. To avoid all of these problems, we will film in areas as far away from the road as possible and make sure not to film in the direction of the exposed road. Because the wood is a public space, there is many aspects that cannot be shown within the film, as it will ruin the professionalism of the film and the tense feeling within the audience.
A problem with filming in the wood is that a lot of surfaces are wet and very slippery. This could mean that anyone in our cast or crew could fall over or slip when filming. This could injure someone and prevent more filming. We can prevent this by being careful where we step and making sure that we do not run unnecessarily. We will be careful when we are near tree stumps and roots, as they can make the cast and crew fall over and injure themselves. Our last location is the road outside of the wood. This is where we will film separate clips for a montage. We may face problems filming on the road, as many people or cars may pass us filming, meaning we may have to film the same shots over and over again. We will resolve this by making sure we film at a time where there should be less people travelling. The hazard of filming on a road is that someone could fall into the road or get run over by passing vehicles. To prevent this, we will stay on the pavement and be careful around the road.
Nina May Akiyama is a 16-year-old student studying art, French and philosophy at AS level and BTEC graphic design. She plans to work in advertisement and study advertising and marketing at Lancaster University after she finishes her A-level courses at Mulberry School for Girls. She currently does not have a job because she wants to focus on her schoolwork. Nina lives with her mum, dad and sister Beth in Bethnal Green. Her mum is from London and her dad is from Sendai, northern Japan. She regularly goes onto social medias like Tumblr, Twitter and Snapchat, where she enjoys keeping up to date with social events with friends and read gossip about her favourite celebrities, e-girls and Jennifer Lawrence. To access these websites, Nina uses her iPhone 5C. She has hobbies like drama, which she studies on Wednesdays from 5 to 8 p.m. at Anna Fiorentini Theatre and Film School in Bethnal Green, and fashion/sewing, which she practices at home in her spare time. Nina is currently in a complicated relationship. Her style is very casual, with her favourite places to shop being Urban Outfitters and H&M. However, she does enjoy exploring and experimenting with different styles. Her favourite genre of movies are thrillers, with examples like Black Swan and Vertigo.
I like the whole idea of the opening sequence and how it doesn't like give too much information. You're using like kids at our age, so it's quite relatable.
Because you said there's a montage, so it's kind of giving the audience a sneaky like peek of the film. It just seems interesting. Like a lot could happen with the film, and I think you've put a good amount of information in the opening sequence, but not too much.
What I like about it is that it's like really interesting, and it has like it has minimal conversation, so like it keeps the sense of suspense.
I like the plot. It's very familiar, but it's got a twist to it that you wouldn't really expect.
I like the cliffhanger.
I like how you will use different editing techniques, and I like the fact that it will leave us on a cliffhanger.
What I think you can improve about the opening sequence of your film is you could introduce the characters a bit more so the audience has a better understanding on what's going on.
You should include a little bit more on the point of view of the male.
Make it a bit clearer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like a bit more clear. It sounds a bit muddled.